In this video, I'm going to show you how to create drop-down lists in Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to create drop-down lists for 3 columns, column B, C, and D. And these 3 columns are my source data. So to create a drop-down list for column B, I am going to select the entire column, and on the ribbon tab, click on Data. Click on Data Validation. There's a drop-down arrow here. Click on it. Select Data Validation. Click on Settings. And under Allow, click on the drop-down tab here. Select List. So on the source panel here, click on it. I am going to highlight the source. So this is my source. These 3 options. So I'm going to highlight these 3 cells. So the 3 cells are selected. You want to make sure you don't select the heading, and it's here. Click OK. So now there's a drop-down tab next to the cells. When I click on the drop-down, I have the 3 options here from my source. I can select yes. The next one I can select again. So I only have 3 options, and the drop down tab only allows me to select whatever I have in my source data. So now I'm going to do the same thing for column C. So my source data for state is here on this column G. So again, I just want to highlight the entire column C. Click on the Data tab. Click on Data Validation. Select Data Validation. On the Allow section, click on the drop-down, select List. Click on the source panel here. So now I just have to highlight the source data here. So I scroll down with the mouse all the way down until the end. Click OK. And as you can see, there's a drop down next to the cell. And now it has a scroll bar because it's a long list. So when I click on each cell, I can just scroll down and choose whatever state it is. So I'm going to do the same thing for the department column. So I'll select column D. Make sure that the Data tab is selected. Click on Data Validation. On the Allow section, click on the drop-down, select List. Click on the source panel and highlight the data on the department column. So now I've selected all of it. Click OK. There's a scroll bar and all my data is listed. So creating a drop-down list saves time in typing, and also there's no chance of misspelling. For example, if I misspell chemistry, I get an error message here. So these are the benefits of creating a drop-down list. So in column B, under the heading of attending, I only have 3 options, and I can add another option. So for example, I can add no answer. Now it's not going to show up right away. It's not here. So what I have to do, I just have to move it up. So on the keyboard, hold down the Shift key, and on the mouse, hold down the left mouse click. Select the top of the cell and just drag it up. And then release the mouse. So now when I click the drop down, it's here. The option is here, no answer. And if I don't want this no answer to be the third option, I can just drag maybe up. So when I select the cell here, I can select no, I can select no answer. So I have 4 options. So my source data in column G, I have the states listed here, and these are not listed alphabetically. So when I click on the state here, I click on the drop down, it's not alphabetically listed. So to list them alphabetically, I have to sort it. I selected the entire column, click on the data tab, and on the source tab, click A to Z. So I'm going to click on that. This pops up, sort warning. So I have 2 options, and I'm going to select the next option, continue with the current selection. Click sort, and now it's listed alphabetically. Now when I click the drop down tab, it's alphabetically listed. So in the department column, column H, I can move any one of these up. So for example, I am going to move history all the way to the second cell. So I'm going to hold the shift key, click on the top of the cell, and just move it up. Release the mouse, and history is the second option. Now when I click on the drop down here next to the cell, history is listed here. So I can add another topic here. For example, I can add Spanish. So it's not going to be listed here. All I have to do is move it up. Hold the shift key, and with the mouse, just move it up, release the mouse, and it's there. Now when I click on the drop down next to the cell, it's listed here, Spanish. So on the top row here, there are drop down arrows on attending, state, and department, and I want to remove those. To remove those, all I have to do is just highlight and select data here, click on data validation. It says the selection contains more than one type of validation. Erase content settings and continue. Click OK. So click clear all. Click OK. And now there's no drop down tab next to the headings. So the source data here, this can be moved to another sheet. So to move it to another sheet, I'm going to cut and paste. So I'm just going to highlight these 3 columns. And on the keyboard, hold the Control and X key. Click on a blank sheet. Select a cell, hold the Control and V key. And now it's pasted here in sheet 2. So the source data was moved into another sheet. So although I move my source data to another sheet, when I click on all the drop down, all my data is there. Now you can protect the source data that is listed on a separate sheet. So on sheet 2, this is the source data, and so I'm going to hide it. So when I right click the tab, select hide, and now it's hidden. But someone can just right click any tab here and select unhide. So the second step is to password protect your workbook. So to do that, click on the review tab, select protect workbook, type a password. So if someone tried to unhide the sheet just by right clicking, the unhide option is grayed out. So to unhide it, just click back on the protect workbook, type in the password, click OK. So when I right click the sheet, I can unhide it. So I'll click on unhide. The sheet name is sheet 2, click OK, and it's here. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I thank you for watching. I ask you to subscribe